My name is Caroline Shivachi, Program Officer from the Independent Medical Legal Unit. Right now I'm talking to you from Mathare Social Justice Center, where we've been running an activity with the community. We've been holding a community dialogue, and the purpose of holding this dialogue is that we are commemorating the World Torture Day on 26th. So we chose Mathare during this COVID-19 pandemic season because of the many cases they've reported that are curfew related. And so far we've gotten more than around 5 cases from this center, and we thought that just to commemorate the day, we come and talk to them, to have a feel of their experiences, to stand with them in solidarity and tell them that we care and we have the capacity to add a voice to their voice as citizens of Kenya and people who actually are partners with the organization, with the center. So with the community dialogue, we wanted to check in with the clients, or rather with the affected people. We've talked about their experiences. We've challenged them about their rights and responsibilities while as citizens of Mathare. We've also talked to them about how they feel and what they can do in future to avoid, clashes between the community and the police. And most importantly, we would like to hold the police accountable for these excesses that have been witnessed in Mathare during this season.
According to me, torture is the painful bodily harm inflicted or unnatural, which is unnatural. So it's anything, any cause of harm to inflict harm to you, so that you can gain information. That, according to me, is torture, or anything done to get source of information unwillingly. Torture has affected me because I'm a victim of torture. Some years back in 1995, I was arrested and taken to Makuyu police station. But it was a mistaken identity. The person they were looking for, I was kind of mistaken with him. So I was beaten, I was molested, and some kind of bodily harm was inflicted on me. So when I remember this case, I tend to feel bad to others who pass through this kind of bodily harm or through the hands of police.
According to how I understand torture is inflicting pain through physical or psychological means in order to get information by force from a person, and it's mostly perpetrated by police. The major reason for celebrating this day is because these are violations of human rights, of which we are strongly against as human rights defenders. And we also take this moment to celebrate some of the people who went through torture just to make this country a better place. For those who went through fighting for multi-party democracy in Kenya, who are the early human rights defenders, some were politicians, and they went through torture, both physical and psychological torture, through the Moi regime.
I think it's very important to celebrate World Torture Day because one, we create awareness. Also in places like Mathare, like this year's hashtag is commercial torture. This is what the people here can relate to. So it's really important to celebrate these things because it impacts so many people by creating awareness.
It is important to celebrate this day because one, it is to pass the message to the entire police force or people who tend to do this kind of unnatural kind to other people. Because to me, this is not a good way of getting information from people. It should stop. The whole world should join hands to stop this kind of torture.
To the government of Kenya is that they should take these cases seriously. We've had a lot of people going through torture, both psychological and physical. Some of these tortures led to death of some individuals. Some people were left destitute and families broken down. So I think the government should take a lead in investigating these issues so that we may bring an end to the horror brought to these families. I think the government also should start offering psychological support through counseling, and also there are people who are living with PTSD, the post-traumatic stress disorders. So the government should provide a way of helping these people psychologically and bring them out of this ordeal, because I think it's taking a toll on them.
My message to the government on prevention of torture is that the government should follow to the letter on what our constitution states. Our constitution states clearly that every human being should live free of torture. And if we live to that, I think Kenya will be a better place to live in.
My message to the government is, one, to respect the constitution by respecting also the human dignity and respecting other ways of handling human beings, because all of us were human beings, and inflicting torture to a human being, it's ungodly. So the government should come with mechanism of getting information or sourcing information from any victim, any person, but in a dignified manner, in a dignified way, so that we can all feel to be human beings.
I'd like to thank Kiml first for the partnership they've been doing through the community and through working with organizations such as Mathare Social Justice and other organizations. Because if you want to fight torture, they've done the best thing by coming to the ground. That's working with the grassroots organizations, and I think I'm very grateful for that. They should also try and bring everyone abroad by educating our citizens, because as we've learned today is that the public, I think that's the weak link in this fight against torture, because most of the evidence is lost by not following the laid down procedures in fighting these things. So they should educate the public and also bring us in so that we may try and bring awareness on this and how to document these cases and bring fulfillment to these cases.
Really like to appreciate the Independent Medical Legal Unit Executive Director, Mr. Peter Kiama. Our donors, we have 6 of them. We are not able to mention all of you. The Mathare Social Justice Center, the Social Justice Center Reforms Working Group, and all the citizens who have actually accepted to be part of the dialogue. What I'd like to send out to donors, partners, well-wishers and all that, let us converge, let us come together and stand in solidarity with the people of Mathare and Kenyans and the human race, so that we can be able to at least reduce the police excesses. The police are our people, and what I'd like to tell them is they are the first line human rights defenders, and they swear by the oath. So it's good when they swear they actually purpose to work within the confines of the law, and we shall have order. Otherwise, we appreciate you all, and I would like to send my condolences to all those who've lost people during the curfew period and even in other years. And I would like to really urge donors, partners, let us come, let us hold the justice centers so that they can continue doing what they are doing in kind and in cash, so that we can sensitize and have an empowered community that is torture-free.